I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy.
Hey, what's up, Karma Nation? Welcome here to another episode of SuperFlex Fridays. If you're not sure what SuperFlex is, it is one of the staple points of why Owner's Box DFS is better than everybody else, because they have a SuperFlex option for whatever sport you're playing. Particularly this episode, what they have going on right now is MLB DFS. And just to go real quick, I want to make sure I mention the lineup structure before we start going through, because if you're saying something like, hey, this is our favorite infield play, and if you're not familiar with the lineup, you have no idea what we're talking about, because you're used to probably plugging in a catcher, a first baseman, a second baseman. But one of the best parts about Owner's Box Fantasy, besides the fact they have a SuperFlex where you can plug in any pitcher, any outfielder, any infielder, is also the other slots as well. You have 4 infield. So if you want to plug in 4 shortstops, you can do that. 4 catchers, whatever your heart desires. And they also have 3 outfield, followed by 1 pitcher, and then, like I said, that SuperFlex. You're probably seeing a new face you've never seen before on any Karma stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and introduce Avery, who's part of the Owner's Box content team, rocking the best mustache I've ever seen in my life. Avery, take a second, introduce yourself to the viewers here.
Yeah, Avery Chenier, part of the Skippers brand that we started up last year, Fantasy Baseball. Started Owner's Box 2 years ago, so I wasn't a huge DFS guy, but obviously now as part of Owner's Box, getting into that. Obviously love what you guys do. Really excited for the partnership and SuperFlex Fridays, ready to get after it.
All right, so before we get started with the first play, so we're going to keep the same structure we did last week, which is talking about the favorite high-dollar plays for infield, for outfield, pitching as well, and then going to the low-dollar plays, going back and forth there. But I do want to mention a promo that we have here. So first off, if you're like, this sounds interesting, I like this lineup structure, I like how this sounds, I want to start playing these plays in something, we'll go to ownersbox.online. You can download the app, doesn't matter what device you have, whether it's iOS or Android. Download the app. If you prefer to play DFS on desktop, that's also available for you guys. Use promo code KARMA, gets you, without depositing anything, it gets you a free entry to tonight's main slate. So just signing up, you get a free entry today's main slate, which is what we're covering. I believe the lock is 8:04 p.m. Eastern time. And then once you deposit, you get $25 match. Now, we here at Karma are actually going above and beyond that promo for these podcasts, particularly this one today. Every single person that clicks the thumbs up button on this YouTube video, you got to click the thumb up, and then you have to comment your Owner's Box username. What we're going to do is we're going to pick 10 of those people. So if everybody that comments, we're going to put you in this randomizer. 10 of those people get a free entry for next week's Friday main slate contest. So right now, click the thumbs up, comment your Owner's Box username, and then we'll do the drawing. We'll mention it on Twitter and inside of our Discord of the 10 people that are going to win a free entry to the main slate of next Friday. So let's go to get started. We have a 10-game slate here. As I mentioned, it's 8 p.m. Eastern time lock. Ben, if you want to kick things off here, what is your favorite top dollar infield play for the slate?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Matt Olson today. I've already kind of bet. Oh, wait, is this thing where they're not on the slate again? Did we do this again?
Are you looking at the wrong slate?
No. Let's start up here. I hate when that happens, but let's go Avery first. How about that?
All right. Yeah, no, that's a tough one there. Tough start. I'm gonna go Vlad. Is my play of the day, going up against George Kirby, 5,300 as top dollar. I like to give myself some options, right? So if you really go for the top guys, it kind of cuts you off. Obviously, you guys know that. So I'm going to go Vlad here. I am a Blue Jays fan. It is tough for me to come on here as my first show. And the first guy I'm going to say to you is the guy that I watch the most. But I've been seeing his at-bats recently as a guy I see all the time. And he looks sharp. Last night, he just hit 2 absolute missiles up the middle. And that guy's locked in. Against a lefty, for sure. Splits are a little bit better for lefties. But George Kirby, a guy, comes off a good start last time, but he has been banged and hit hard kind of this season. So I'm going to say Vlad hits 280 on the road compared to 256 at home. Obviously, the average exit velocity, 97th percentile, 99th percentile max exit velocity, 97th percentile hard hit percentage. He's going to get on base, 85th percentile, and expected batting average. Vlad is a good points league player. The chase stuff is kind of there randomly from like 2020 numbers, but I think a guy who's just going to be locked in tonight, Vlad, a guy who can hit home runs, that's the upside you need for a guy like this. So Vlad's going to be my top dollar play, and $500 less than the top infield option. So I'm taking Vlad today.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna actually every time that Avery's on this Superflex Friday podcast with us, we're gonna do a Homer call tracker. So every time he picks some blue chip, we're gonna do it because if anybody knows anything about the last 5 years of Karma podcast, Anthony, it doesn't matter if it could be hockey, it could be golf, some guy from Cleveland, it can be baseball, anything. He always just so many Cleveland plays. And so it got to a point where it's like, all right, the tracker's so high right now that we're not going to play any of your Cleveland calls just because we don't trust you. But anyway, we're gonna keep tabs on that because we'll see what happens when it goes to the outfield and the pitching side. But Ben, now that you have the correct slate pulled up, dummy. All right, who's your infield play for this one?
I'm gonna go with Jose Ramirez. Good matchup for the Guardians against Brady Singer. He's been a little bit better since they brought him back to the rotation this year than he was last year, but still against lefties, 347 WOB allowed, 245 ISO allowed. Ramirez, obviously, he's one of the favorites for MVP up there with Aaron Judge in the American League. Really good numbers against right-handed pitching. He bats really well from the left-handed side, and he matches up well with the pitch mix as well. Singer's most used pitch is his sinker. He throws it over 50% of the time, and Ramirez 306 ISO against Sinker's highest number on the Guardians lineup. So I'm going to go with him tonight.
I believe he hits 333 against Brady Singer too, so that was a good matchup I was looking at as well.
Yeah, even better.
All right, Avery, let's go back to you for the cheapo side of things. Who is the most bottom dollar infielder that you're favoriting for this 8 p.m. slate, Ben? Before it gets passed back to you,
I don't know if Avery knows. So last week we did this, and we were like making a whole team, and I'm talking about how much I love like Ronald Acuna, and I realized that I was looking at the all day slate, and he wasn't on. Like he was at like 6 o'clock instead of 7 or something, and then now today this main slate starts at 8, so they're not included on that either. It's just funny.
That's always tough. I did ask Travis before what slate we wanted to do for that exact reason because I thought that might happen. But my bottom dollar play, this is the kind of thing that makes me really, really angry because there's 3 players that I think should not be listed around the minimum. Ben, I don't want to take one of your guys, but Ty France, JP Crawford, and Jose Miranda, I think are 3 of the worst priced players on the platform. JP Crawford almost hits 300 against lefties at this point. He should not be priced minimum. He's hitting 3 for the Mariners right now. But my bottom dollar play is going to be Ty France, 3,300 going up against Ross Stripling. Yes, this is a Blue Jays game, not a Blue Jays player. Ty France hitting 315, 10 home runs, and a weighted runs created place of 154 and a WAR of 2.2, and we have him priced $300 above the minimum. You cannot tell me that makes any sense at all. That is legit crazy town. It makes me want to jump off my house right now, the fact that we have him like that. 8 of his 10 home runs have come against right-handed pitching, 322 against righties compared to 282 against lefties. Loves hitting at home, 359 at T-Mobile this season. Leads the Mariners in RBIs. He's seen Ross Stripling 3 times. I think he's 0 for 3. That's not a big enough sample size to take anything from that, obviously. Hitting second in the lineup. Julio Rodriguez has been awesome. He's going to do his thing, get on base. Good chance to drive him in. So I like Ty France a lot today.
And then I'm guessing that, Ben, you agree with the pricing catastrophe of on the Seattle side?
Yeah, I think all those players are too cheap that he named, and I really like the Mariners. They're my favorite stack on Owner's Box today because of that pricing. So I'm in agreement with Crawford and France. France is a really good play at that price. And Stripling, the last few seasons he's been more reverse splits, worse against righties than lefties. 330 WOBA allowed the last 2 seasons compared to 272 to lefties.
Interesting.
And then, Ben, keeping with you, who's your cheapo bottom dollar infield play?
Yeah, I'll just go with Crawford since he took France because I want to play the Mariners. I don't want to give anything away, but I like a Mariners player at outfield, so we'll just kind of stick with that theme then.
Don't give anything away. You've already said you're doing the Seattle stack and everything.
Yeah,
you know everything.
We gotta wait. We gotta wait till we get over there.
All right, so we're Crawford for the same reason. Especially Crawford is actually the minimum price at $3K. What is the most expensive bat that we've seen on Owner's Box with the new pricing structure of like the last couple weeks? Has it been like 6,200 or has it been what's been the most you guys have seen?
I think
I've got a guy at
6K
today, so yeah, it might be up there.
Gotcha.
I think Aaron Judge was 63 the other day or something. I think.
I'm surprised he's not like 75 at this point. That man is not human. It's not human. I'm pretty positive that he's going to break the Yankees home run record. I don't think he's going to break Bond's record, but I'm pretty sure he's going to continue to stay hot and even get a little bit hotter than he already is. And I feel like he's going to be up there to break the Yankees single game record for home runs.
I really hope that doesn't happen. Like, just
you hope it
really
doesn't happen?
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, no, I'd hate to see that happen. I want him to play.
Do you hate Aaron Judge?
I think he's a good guy.
He likes the Blue Jays, so of course, he doesn't like the Yankees.
But Judge doesn't. Okay, so
he's not a bad guy. I'll say that. I don't hate Aaron Judge because I think he's a likable person. I'll say that.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna kind of go to next. Where just adding what Ben said, like, yeah, there's teams that, for example, like I'm a hardcore Miami Dolphins fan. Like everybody knows that, and
like we're on a baseball thing. He's got to bring up the Dolphins. It's
I'm just that's
we're welcoming Avery into this. Like,
listen,
real nice here.
It's easier to make this comparison because I care more about the Miami Dolphins than I do the Cleveland Guardians. So there's more like brand loyalty and everything. So of course I hate the Patriots, but like if we're talking about a similar situation like Teddy Bruschi. Back in the day, one of the greatest linebackers they ever had. Like he was a great guy, and even though he's on that team, like I despise that team. I hate the Patriots, but at the same time, like you can't say anything bad about him. So that's what I was kind of gonna question. Like, do you dislike Aaron Judge because
Avery,
he's on the
team you
don't like?
Didn't want Tom Brady on the Dolphins when that was like rumored.
Man.
He was like,
I was so mad.
Whatever he just said is that's BS.
Well, you can't give me an actual reason why you wouldn't want Tom Brady on the Dolphins.
No, that's what I
do
said.
like Tua because I'm a left-handed person, and I think it looks prettier coming out of the left hand. But I mean, Tom Brady's like what 1 or 2 years left, and you got a chance to win a Super Bowl there. I think that's nuts. Maybe craziest thing I've ever heard.
I can't allow it to happen. It's the same. So I know what Ben's going to say. Like, stop talking about things that aren't baseball. Same thing if like LeBron came to the Orlando Magic. I would not want that to happen. I don't want it to happen. I don't want that guy on my team. But let's get back on track now that you've got the entertaining 5-minute segue out of or 10 minutes of that for that matter. We're moving over to outfielders now. So we got 2 top dollar infield plays, bottom dollar infield plays. Going to the outfield now. Ben, with the correct slate, who is your top dollar outfield play?
I'm gonna go with Julio Rodriguez at 4,900. We were talking about the Mariners a little bit, but I told you Stripling's been worse against righties the last 2 seasons than lefties. Rodriguez obviously has been great for the Mariners this season. His expected WOBA 470 against righties is the highest number on this team, and I think he should probably be over 5K. I think at least on this slate relative to the other bats. So I like him at 4,900.
Yeah, guys are going to get you runs too, stolen bases if he's not going to hit a home run, right? So you can get points other ways.
What is their projected? Are they like what's the word I'm looking for? Lineup platoon? Like, are they going to be all hitting back to back to back projected wise, or are they going to be spread out on the lineup?
Him, Crawford, and France should be the top 3, I think.
Yeah, that's what they did last night.
Yeah.
Okay. So Avery, who are you looking for that top dollar outfield spot?
I don't like taking the top price guy because it feels wrong. I come on here and say a guy that I love on my team and then the top price guy, but I've built a really good lineup. I think at the end I could share with you guys. Obviously don't take it all, but Jordan Alvarez.
Take it. Like everything we enter is going to be
it's
Avery's lineup.
It's going to be like 10 entries with this lineup.
We're going to find all your head-to-heads and just tie everything.
And for me, it's just Jordan Alvarez going up against the A's today. There hasn't been a better hitter. Like, you can't tell me Aaron Judge has been better than Jordan Alvarez. I don't think the numbers match up there. So good that I almost think he's matchup proof, even though I want a right-handed pitcher instead of a left-handed pitcher against Jordan Alvarez. I think 339 against righties this season. Weighted runs created plus of 202 is just absolutely incredible numbers we haven't seen in a while. And then the A's, I haven't seen them name a starter, but I've seen Paul Blackburn coming up. Guy's not going to blow you away, right? Not a ton of swing and miss stuff. If you look at the advanced analytics here on Jordan Alvarez, it's 100th percentile stuff in 9 categories. You can't make that stuff up. He's been that good. So at 6K, I'm sorry I took the highest price guy, but I love Jordan Alvarez that much.
All right, so if we're going to plug in the highest price guy and then also Vlad at 53, which is not the highest price, but he's pretty high up there. Same with you on this one, Avery. Who are you looking in for the cheap one? Is there anybody that's a egregious error like France and Crawford you're seeing in the outfield spot?
Yeah, there's 3 names that line up back-to-back at 3,200, 3,100, and then 3,000. Seiya Suzuki, Dalton Varsho, and then Eloy Jimenez. So if I'm going to take a high-price guy, you need to take a low-price guy, and there's no way this mispricing should allow this to happen, right? You shouldn't be able to take Eloy Jimenez at $3,000 in this pricing system. So I'm going to go, my low price guy is Eloy Jimenez against Tarek Skubal today. Only 13 games a season for Eloy. Comes back from injury, right? In the small sample size this season, he is hitting better against lefties than righties. That does not match up with his career numbers. But I think it's pretty much a no-brainer for me for the upside of Eloy, guy who can hit home runs. I like that as a low-price guy. So Eloy is my bottom dollar outfield play.
All right, so Ben, was that going to be yours, or who are you going with the bottom dollar outfield?
No, I think he's a great play. Varsho definitely is a good play as well, 3,100. I actually think it's funny. These are things we could take advantage of, but if you just look at owner's box projections, I mean, he's projected as the highest scoring outfielder, but he's $3,100, which is hilarious.
So wait, is Varsho your bottom dollar player, or did you have somebody else lined up for outfield?
Yeah, no, we can go with Varsho. It's a good. I mean, he's got 232 ISO against righties this season. Chad Kuhl. I don't know. Do you have a Chad Kuhl take? This guy just keeps like getting it done. But I mean, the advanced numbers say like he hasn't been that good, but I don't know. He keeps doing it somehow.
He was the complete game against the Dodgers like last week, right?
Yeah.
I think that threw a wrench in everything I bet that day. So
Travis and I have Chad Kuhl in our FSGA championship team, I believe. So that was great for us. But I don't think
I feel
that
like
this
we're the only person that
is
started
not
him in the history.
Yeah, we were the only
baseball.
people that were happy about that Chad Kuhl game.
So let's go over to the this question's kind of mixing the pitcher and the Superflex. I guess my first question for you guys is, based on how the slate looks right now, with the fact that we are finding incredibly cheap, almost minimum, if not minimum price players that should not be anywhere close to that, and we're able to plug them in, is this seem like a no-brainer situation for doubling up on pitchers, or is there still some argument for going with a bat for that Superflex before we actually get to what pitchers we're looking at for that pitching spot?
For me, I'm a two-pitcher guy pretty much all the time. So I think because of the guys are taking, it helps you not take a guy who's kind of a bum at the lower price of the pitchers, and we can take away some of that variety that's going to be really bad, right? Some guy you're taking a chance on, you get a little more stability here if you're paying up for two more pitchers when we get those minimum price guys.
All right, so that being said, who is the pitching lock of this slate? If you have the salary, I mean, who's the most expensive guy right now? Let me see.
Wheeler, I think.
Wheeler's most expensive right now?
Yeah.
All right. So no matter how much salary you have, if you either start with the pitching and then build your bats after that, or start with the bats and go to your pitching there, who is the ultimate lock regardless of salary, if you can afford everybody up to Wheeler?
So I'm going to go, I'm Lucas Giolito on this because I am a huge fan of who he is. Detroit has the third worst OPS and fourth worst weighted runs created plus against right-handed pitchers in the last 30 days. But they're somehow on this little win streak too, right? They went up against Dylan Cease. They won 2-1 yesterday. Couldn't believe that, but here we are again. Giolito's kind of found his form back to throwing a lot of changeup, which is his whiff pitch. And the start of this season, he just lost all the whiffs. So we were like, what happened to Lucas Giolito? I think he's kind of in a smash spot here where he can get a lot of strikeouts. His expected stats are a lot better than his actual stats. You look at expected ERA, expected batting average, expected FIP, they're all an improvement. Strikeout percentage is 76th percentile, and whiff percentage is in the 84th percentile. I think this is a good spot for the White Sox as well. And if you're taking a pitcher that you can pretty much pay up for, you want a guy who's going to win a game, right? You want those extra 6 points, and I think the White Sox have a good chance to win this game. Lucas Giolito's in a good spot, so that's why I'm going to take him.
So I know that we've been talking about a lot of crazy underpriced bats. So in theory, depending on which ones, if not all of them that we plug in, we can afford the most expensive pitchers because of the mispriced stuff. So my first question for you, Ben, is Zach Wheeler at 10-2 somebody that you would throw in on top of Lucas, or is it something where his price, even if you can afford it, it doesn't make sense, where you'd rather have a higher bat and go with somebody a little bit lower?
Yeah, I think if you want to, you can easily get two expensive pitchers today with the bats. So I don't think that. I think it doesn't come down to like, can you play two It's just which two do you want to
Well,
play?
I'm asking about
there's a
Wheeler.
lot.
I'm asking about Wheeler in specific because he's the most high-priced guy. Is it somebody that if you had to like take let's say a 5,000 bat to a 3,000 bat to be able to afford Wheeler on top of Lucas, is that something that you would be willing to do, or is Lucas at 10 or not, or Zach Wheeler at 10 something that you wouldn't want to switch out a bat for?
Yeah, I think it's yeah. I would probably do that. I don't know. For me, it comes down to, yeah, it's tough. I'm completely torn on Giolito today. I can't decide. I've been back and forth on it. I mean, Avery's right. He has changed his pitch mix up in his last few starts, and that's helped out. But he's just been. I know like the advanced numbers are saying that he should be better than what he's been, but his main problem has been against righties for whatever reason. And typically Detroit can throw a lot of righties in their lineup. And I'm not a big like BVP guy. I don't know if Avery is, but there is almost a 200 plate appearance sample size of Lucas Giolito against the Tigers, 22% strikeouts and a 334 WOBA allowed. So, I don't know. I've literally gone back and forth all day on if I wanted to play him. I do think Wheeler is my favorite of all the pitchers today, but it's tough.
Yeah, I liked Wheeler as well. I couldn't. There's no way I could have come in here any credibility and taken two top guys.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. In theory, the Tigers strike out more than the Cardinals, so I totally understand that. Like the Cardinals lineup, really, there's not a ton of strikeouts in there this season. Typically, like in years past, they've had pretty much all righties in their lineup. So if you have a good right-handed pitcher, you just throw him against them, and it's usually going to work out. But they just have some different guys this year, and it's been skewed more like 5-4 lefties or like whatever. But I don't know. I think I would pick Wheeler if I had to choose one, but it's close.
So a follow-up question I have is now. So we have your top four from both of you. Your top four bats in terms of salary. So we have Vlad at 53, Jose at 55, Rodriguez at 49 and 4.9, and then Jordan at 6,000. So if we needed to swap one of those for a lesser expensive bat to be able to squeeze in the top two pitchers, which of those four? You could comment on somebody that you've mentioned, or comment somebody else, one of the other party mentioned. Which of those four is the most likeliest option to swap out? In terms of those four, what's your last or your least favorite, I guess you should say, of those four options to switch for a cheaper bat?
For me, I'd probably go Vlad based on the numbers not lining up and not people stacking around him for this matchup. Obviously, I like the Mariner stack a lot. I did a mock lineup, and I had Julio Rodriguez in there as well. I just think it's a good spot against Ross Stripling, so I'll say that.
And then, Ben, what do you think is your least favorite out of those four top dollar bats?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to fade Jordan at this point with what he's been doing, so I think he would pick one of the infielders. So either Vlad or Jose Ramirez, one of the two, I think is who you would knock down.
All right, so I mean, if you guys haven't put the math together as you're watching this YouTube video, you pretty much just got an entire lineup there on top. You got not only did you get an entire lineup from each of everybody's favorite plays, but you pretty much have a good understanding what Ben's exact lineup is going to look like and what Avery's exact lineup is going to look like.
Yeah, he doesn't even need to share it. He's already got it.
Yeah, I got to share it. We already got it. So that being said, this is the what you can expect to see every single Friday on SuperFlex Fridays. Like I said at the beginning of this, if you don't have an account yet, go to ownersbox.online, use promo code KARMA. You get a free $5 entry for the main slate today if you sign up. Main slate locks at 8:04 p.m. Eastern Time. You also get a $25 bonus whenever you deposit on Ownersbox. And then what we're doing specific to Karma is we are doing a giveaway. We're giving away 10 free entries to next Friday's, not today's, but next Friday's main slate MLB DFS contest. All you have to do is click the thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and then comment your Owner's Box username in the comment section. It's that easy. You just click thumbs up, you subscribe, you comment, and you can potentially get a free entry. And that's something we're going to try to do every single week, so make sure you're always tuning into these. So is there any last 2 cents from either of you, any last final thoughts, if you will, to close out this MLB slate of 10 games? Anything else that we haven't touched on yet that you want to make sure you add? And if it's just Avery telling how much he hates whoever's in charge of pricing, or how much he hates Sandy, or anybody at Owner's Box, if you just want to come clean about anything, the floor is yours, my guy.
Yeah, no, hey, if you guys definitely tweet me of guys pricings you hate. I will go to bat for whatever you guys have to say. So don't
He's
worry
gonna get
about
so
that.
many DMs now. Please fix
I'm-
this.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'll let the people responsible know. That'll be my job from here on out.
And then, yeah, you see his everybody's Twitter's name is underneath their faces on the screen, so you can see everybody's Twitter accounts. Make sure you give him a follow as well. Ben, anything from you before we close this out?
Nah, I didn't mention him at pitcher, but another guy I like a lot is Aaron Ashby. So if you don't want to spend up for 2 pitchers, you can use Aaron Ashby. I think he's a really good play.
All right. So that being said, appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate you guys being on this show with us, Ben and Avery. Avery, thanks for joining us for this one. If you guys did not know yet, I know I mentioned this early in the beginning of the podcast, but again, we do every single thing we're doing for Owner's Box in terms of content is going to be 100% free to view. These podcasts are going to be free to view. The core plays, which you can get access to at dfskarma.com, are free to view. The articles, cheat sheets, projection portal, everything we're doing for this platform is free to view, so you guys can quickly learn at a free complimentary pace of how to win on Owner's Box more often than not. That being said, good luck today. Hope everybody's lineups are green. Throw those screenshots on Twitter, tag at DFS_karma, or just simply throw them in the DFS screenshots channel inside of our Discord, which you can get free access to by going to dfskarma.com/chat. Till next week, enjoy your weekend, guys.